Managing teams comes down to good communication. Without the ability to understand exactly what we want our teams to do, exactly what we want our new hires to accomplish, how can we expect the other people to satisfy the things that we're looking for? I saw a video of Jordan Peterson talking about his conversations about conflict in general. He has a lasting theory, not more than a theory, it's actually more of a fact based on studies, that the amount of agreeableness, essentially how often you will go out of your way to make people feel like you're agreeing with them, to shake your head, to nod your head, despite situations that you may not fully agree with them. The amount of situations that you can put up barriers and say to people, no, this is how I feel, and this is not correct, that I don't feel good about this decision, or I don't feel good about this philosophy. The more you can stand up in that sort of way, the more career success we have. This is called disagreeableness from Jordan Peterson. I don't particularly like the term, but it goes to show that as a leader, as someone that is looking for some very specific things out of the output of our team, that we need to be able to understand what we are looking for exactly. And if we do, the clarity at which we can understand that, the easier it is for anyone that hops on board to really serve us correctly or to satisfy us, to please us. So Jordan Peterson's video, he said, though on the outside I might look disagreeable, though sometimes on social media or on YouTube, whatever, there tends to be situations where he's kind of stern and making arguments and putting up a barrier. He says for the most part he's a very agreeable person, and he's always been in his life. And I could feel that message through just the things that he says, just the way that he philosophizes and the way that he approaches life. It comes from a place of humility. It comes from a place of great kindness to himself and to other people. He said that he never ever lets a conflict slide. And the reason is because allowing conflicts to pass us by, or not acknowledging them when they arise, or not acknowledging their etiology, their cause, actually multiplies the conflict. Meaning that every time we have this conversation or this situation occur with a group or a person or an organization, then we're going to be stumbling across this concept, this feeling again and again and again. And so that's kind of where the wisdom of delegating properly comes from. You essentially want to make sure that the people that you hire right now know exactly what you're looking for. And you cannot get angry at them if they don't know what you're looking for, because you have not set the bounds correctly. And this is why expansion is so very difficult for business people. This is why creating larger companies is so difficult for people that are used to owning small businesses, because we're so hell-bent on doing the job rather than understanding really what the job is. Really understanding the basics, that if someone comes to a field for the first time, something that you've been doing maybe for 20 years, what are the bare minimum stuff? What is the bare minimum basics that they need to satisfy in order to accomplish that job? And to be able to write it down in a stepwise function that makes sense to the most amount of people. These are innate skills of tacticians, of strategists. The ability to break down complex tasks into lists. And I strongly recommend that if you intend to scale in any sense in your life, from small business to big business, from small business to medium business, or just, putting out little things in your life. If you want people to maintain, say, your laundry, if you want people to maintain your cooking standards, or you want a chauffeur or a butler, or whatever it is, anyone that you hire in your life, you have to know very well their job. You have to understand their job to a degree if you don't know their level of competence to begin with. Because imagine this, right? You hire someone that claims they're skilled at something that you know nothing about. You hire that person and they do this job for a month. And they say that I'm doing this job. Now, one of two things can happen. they're actually technically doing this job quite well and above average, which is very unlikely, or they're doing this job to the bare minimum or not even meeting the bare minimum standards. And because of our lack of awareness for what's required for the job, we don't actually know that they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Now, in these two examples, character to me is always going to be the one that leads to the first one. That says, okay, this person is going to go above and beyond regardless because they're compassionate and because they understand that their boss is trying to accomplish something. Hopefully that their boss also cares about them outside of their workplace. The important part that I'm trying to get across here to you is that delegating tasks, teaching people, communication, it all boils down to what we want. If we do not know what we want out of a situation, out of a partnership, like really what we want, like the individual points that need to be hit, if we don't understand that and we can't write it down in a stepwise function, chances are that there's going to be a lot of headache involved because of the lack of good communication and the lack of clarity. So if you're going to expand in any sense in your life, if you're going to be a business leader, if you're going to be hiring people, I strongly suggest figuring out what the job means. What is the job title that you're looking to satisfy, and what are the bare minimum standards that you want people to meet so that you can feel good paying them? And this does come to fiduciary responsibilities. Like, actually, they have a financial responsibility towards making your business better or improving the customer satisfaction, whatever it is. Investing in people requires intelligence beyond just throwing money at them, is what I'm trying to say. Emotional intelligence is required in leading any person to create what you are looking for in the world, your vision of what is ideal. And this communication comes down to deep self-knowledge and deep knowledge of exactly the task that you're trying to accomplish. And this will come with time. This is necessarily going to be something that you have to sit there for many, many days, or at least very consciously for a period of time, and think about what is the standard that you want to have met. So I want to expand. I want to have a lot of the kind of meaningful tasks in my life taken over by other people, because I want to spend my time thinking about things. I want to spend my time strategizing and networking and making the larger leaps to growth, to increase scale, because that's really what I'm passionate about in life. Systems, strategy. I love that stuff. So I want to give myself the most possible freedom to explore those things, which requires investing in people, which requires investing in teams and figuring out what it is that people need to know to do their job, to make me happy, to allow me to wake up in the morning and not have to worry about a person. There was a quote that Alex Hormozi said, maybe not a quote, but just a general thought that he said. He said, if you wake up in the morning and you're thinking about an employee, it's probably time to fire that employee. And the reason is, and obviously if it's a positive thought, you got to figure that stuff out. But if it's like a negative thought, if you're like, oh my goodness, I need to go into the office and deal with this person again, you should fire that person. And I wholeheartedly believe in that. Because the reality is, if they're taking up your headspace, and in my opinion, one of the most important times of the day, which is when you wake up, when you should have peace of mind and clarity, then that is going to be passively influencing your life in a way that is way more expensive than not having a single employee. And that again comes down to self-worth and the worth of your time, sure. But at the end of the day, I really do believe that life should be efficient in a way that's very logical, right? If someone is outperforming their colleagues, they should be promoted. If someone is underperforming, meaning they're not hitting the bare minimum of what a job is and causing you headaches, get rid of that person. And that goes for every single aspect of your life. And it might be a little gruesome for a lot of you. It might be too cut and dry. But in my life, it's made things a lot easier. And communication and emotional intelligence has contributed significantly to everything that I'm doing right now. And it's actually been a lot of fun to do these things and make myself into a better, kind of stronger leader, right? So hopefully you found this stuff interesting. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. There's a series of changes going on with my posting schedule and whatnot. Hopefully it doesn't throw you guys off too much. But I promise you this will continue in the long run, and I will create more and more valuable content for you. If you have a second, check out this video right here, where I talk about something that will pertain to organizing in general, delegating tasks and how important that stuff is. Actualize your potential, catalyst. This world needs you. Take care.